to Over the Wrestling Show. It's your boy, the one, the only, Still Your Dibs. And on the other side, you know who it is already. It's Tantalizing. Tony. What it do, my brother? What's happening?
My brother, we are back home, unfortunately. We're home safe, so that's good. But we are just off the heels of WrestleMania, and I got to see you for the first time in what, 3 years, my friend?
Man, first time in 3 years, my brother.
It was
Hey,
like, yeah, brother.
it was like, we hadn't seen each other in forever. But we did everything together. We had a great time. We had fun. It was a joyous occasion.
It was a joyous occasion. It was like that family member that you haven't seen in so long because you moved apart. And when we saw each other, bro, it was like nothing, no time had passed. It was, it was all love, bro. It was great, man. I can't, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I would not have want to been anywhere else except with you that whole time. Of course, we were at Mania Club as well. But me and
Right?
you, bro, we were thick as thieves, bro. We did our thing, man.
We did, brother. We did, and
Hey, go ahead, brother.
we did our thing. And it's memories for life, man. I won't ever forget it, bro. It was a great time.
We did miss the other MVS members, but we definitely represented and held it down. And I think we did a good job, bro.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. We held it down for MVS Mania Club. We Mania Club had a huge party at this bar called Whiskey Joe's. That's actually like on the beach, and that was fun. You know, but MVS will be back next year in Dallas, and we're gonna do something. And we're gonna reunite for the first time in a couple years.
Definitely, bro. And let me just say one more thing before we get into it. Um, bro, just the hospitality that we got all weekend long from everybody. Everywhere we went, everybody was very receptive to us. Um, not gonna lie, me and Jared basically was everywhere. Everybody recognized us. Um, it was just great to be with, I got to shout out Mania Club again, man, especially BJ and Norris and
Yeah,
Ethan and Chris McDaniel, as
yeah,
well as Tito, so many people, man. Um, Gary, everybody, man.
Gary,
Just
Jamie, Debbie. We can go on for days with Mania Club. There's so many.
Ryan, who held it down for Mania Club, Ryan. Um, it was just, let me tell you, it was such a good time. Even with the bad weather, which made it even more like um epic because for the first time ever, it rained at a WrestleMania, like major rain, where we weren't sure what was going to happen. It was crazy.
Yep. And speaking of starting the show with WrestleMania, that was the first thing that I was going to get into. If anybody saw my video on YouTube, I talked about did we witness the last WrestleMania to be held outdoors? And if you weren't there at WrestleMania like me and Tony was, you don't know what we experienced with that weather for both nights. Both nights. Now Sunday night, the rain had stopped an hour and a half before the show started. But on Saturday, right around like I said, 5:30 to 5:45, that bad rain and that strong wind had came. I talked about the pirate ship sailing flags, and y'all really don't see it on the TV, but the wind tore that apart. The wind blew the chairs on the floor, any and everywhere. And then after Vince McMahon spoke at 8 o'clock, they had another weather delay, and they had to evacuate us from the stands once again. I don't know if Vince McMahon and WWE will ever take that chance again. They got a decision to make to hold WrestleMania outdoors ever again because he got lucky for all these years, and on those two nights he got very very lucky that he was able to still have a show. So now they got to talk about, hey, do we take this risk again and have the chance of a torrential downpour ruining the show, or do we just hold it indoors for forever now? But if you don't hold it outdoors anymore, you're eliminating the chance of cities like Miami, once again, Tampa, Orlando from holding a WrestleMania. So I think it's going to be in the discussion that they have, but I really don't think they're going to end it forever for outdoor WrestleManias.
If, like you said, you saw Jared's YouTube, or if you saw mine, let me tell you, I did a quick little 45-second WrestleMania rain delay video, and it got. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. It was crazy because I don't think that you've ever had that title on YouTube ever. I think that might have been the first time that title was ever typed. So it
Uh
was
huh.
called. Where is it? No, I can't find it. Oh boy. Um, it was called WrestleMania Rain Delay, and it got. Yeah, I got it now. I'm so sorry. My WrestleMania Rain Delay got 41,000 views. 41,000, which is crazy.
Hmm.
You know,
But
my
but but
WrestleMania.
in your case,
Good.
it's wonderful. It's wonderful in your case.
Yeah, yeah. No, listen. I wish I had the subscribers. I mean, the subscribers didn't jump on. They just looked at the video and went off, which is fine. I probably
Hmm.
picked up a couple, which is great. But something about that night was crazy because my Bad Bunny impressive at WrestleMania got 1.8 thousand. My Bad Bunny win reaction got 4,100. My Bianca versus Sasha got 2.5 that 100. It was crazy. It I guess being at WrestleMania Reign for the first time, people were in shock. And when Jared tells you you cannot see on TV how bad it was, listen. We could where we sat, we could see the floor seats. Jared sat in the section ahead of me in 133. I sat above him in 233. I could see him, he couldn't see me. But when we had to evacuate, we had to come through the same tunnel. The chairs on the floor blew from this side to that side. My phone. Kara,
Like he, like he said, the chairs blew from one side to the other, to the other. Okay, and there is no way they would have been able to have that show with those strong winds. No way possible that show would have went on. Okay, and let's until he comes back. Let's talk about the wetness on the stage. We saw Mandy Rose fall due to that stage being wet. Okay, you cannot risk injuries with your performers or anybody in the stands. Safety always has to come first, and there was nothing safe during that time of when that heavy rain and strong winds happened. Nothing at all. So they have to think about the safety also of everyone else going forward with this. Yes, if they stop the outdoor WrestleManias, yes, it's not fair to those cities. I totally agree. But at the same time, you're not risking um, getting wet. You're not risking a weather delay because we had a weather delay for the first time at WrestleMania. Go ahead, Tony.
I'm so sorry. I'm on a different tripod and I'm on my phone and my phone crashed. I'm still getting set. Um,
Mhm.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You good?
Okay. Yeah. The ring was wet. The stage was wet. Around the ring was wet. The whole rampway, as you like Jared said, the Mandy Rose took a butt bump, which they worked into an angle later, which is kind of funny. But it was dangerous for a little while. Like the Drew McIntyre Bobby Lashley match, you could watch them treading very softly outside the ring. So, like Jared said, like he alluded to earlier, Vince has got lucky the last 36 years. I think this is going to definitely change the format of what goes on going forward. I think Florida might be in trouble for getting another WrestleMania anytime soon.
So Walter Sylvie just commented. He said Mania 29 had snow flurries.
It
Okay,
did.
that's the fault of holding it in New York in that time of the year. You
It
know,
was cold.
which is it was cold. Now, also Mania 34. When we walked outside of Mania 34, it was raining. When we
Hmm.
left, it was raining. But guess what? That is an indoor arena. So
The dome,
inside,
baby.
there's a dome. Yeah, we're not getting wet, and that is fine. Outdoors, that could have been a problem. That could have been a problem. And he got very lucky that that rain had stopped just in time for both them nights, so that show can continue.
Yeah, I was. It was touch and go because they announced lightning a couple times, and we really didn't realize what was going to happen. The beauty of it being 2 nights was this. This is how he got lucky. It being 2 nights, they could, if they had to cancel Saturday, they could have put the entire show on Sunday. That would have
Yeah,
been the plan. But the problem with that is tickets because some people only bought tickets for Saturday and some bought for Sunday. So they
that's
were going
right.
to lose money. The event still would have went on, but there would have been a lot of upset people. So it, to me personally, I love the outdoor stadiums. I've loved Miami. I loved Arizona. I've loved them all. You know,
Yeah,
but I think it's time for them to really to start thinking, hey, let's just do these indoors for everyone's safety, not just financially, safety reasons.
yeah, yeah, definitely. That's number one. Safety reasons, number one, definitely. I mean, man, what if they would have tore that stage apart? What if the winds were that strong that that ship they had built, pieces of the ship would have fell off?
It was crazy the way that shit was built too. If pieces had to come down, people are gonna get hurt.
That's what I'm
Can
talking
you
about.
could you imagine the liability? Could you imagine the lawsuits? It would have been a big issue, you know. And WrestleMania is known for its beautiful sets, the beautiful set design. Everything's great. The last the last 8 WrestleManias have had great sets. Like they're just great. The way they set up is beautiful. But now they've got to put a lot of things into perspective when it comes to what they're gonna do with, you know, set design and the weather if they're gonna keep going outside. But if I'm the guy behind everything, I'm like, yo, we've dodged a bullet so many
Yes.
times. Let's just we got Texas next year, which is indoors, but
Yeah.
California in 2022, excuse me, 2023. Where's that? Is that
It's in
outdoors?
That's indoors. That's it's glass, surrounded by glass. That's actually
Okay, so
indoors.
so that's indoors as well. So the next two are good. So we got to see
Yeah.
what goes on with 2024, which I think is going to be in Vegas anyway. So
We will see. Yes. But yes, like we both said, they got some talking to do, discussion to do about what to do from here on out in regards to having WrestleMania outdoors. Now, WrestleMania 37, I think we both will agree was a great show. 2 nights, um, about 3 hours long. You give the crowd a chance to recoup from one day to the next. They're not burnt out from matches, not cheering anymore. We've been at manias for hours before, and you get to the later matches, you're like kind of
right.
dead. Crowd didn't die. Let's talk about the main event on night one, Sasha and Bianca. I'll let you go first on that one.
Listen, listen. If you get a chance, check out my YouTube, Tantilizing Tony. Check out my Sasha versus Bianca recap. Um, I can't say nothing bad about either one of these women. This match was everything that we thought it was going to be. Lived up to the hype. It delivered. Everything about that match was perfect. Everything. There was not one mistake in that match. Not one. I have dissected this match. I watched it 17 times already just to see because, of course, when you're there, you're you're all enthralled in the pageantry, and you're at WrestleMania after not being at WrestleMania last year. You're just like, oh, thank you God. But I watched this match from the beginning of the entrance until Bianca Belair left with Montez. Oh, when she walked back up the ramp, some stuff that wasn't seen on television.
That's right.
Um, First of all, you break her down. Uh, Bianca Belair's outfit, beautiful,
Yes.
designed it herself, just EST all the way. Beautiful on her arms, the dangling sparklies. It was just the girl. People got to realize Bianca Belair is 32 years old. She
Yeah.
just had a birthday April 9th, so she's
Yeah.
not a little kid. She's not a little kid. She started wrestling late because she was an athlete. So people give her like, oh, she's a kid. She's not. She's a grown woman. She's been around a long time, and she knows. She knows herself. She knows who she is. Sasha Banks. We watched Sasha grow. I knew Sasha from Mercedes KV when she was on the independent scene. We watched her grow in NXT from being Charlotte's little sidekick to turning into the boss and really coming into her own. People got to remember, Sasha Banks was one of Triple H's girls at WrestleMania 30, correct? Was it
Correct.
30?
30. It was
30.
30.
Oh, she had one of the masks on and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And um, she has come so far from having her little meltdown where she needs some time off. And she grew as a person. She knew she was getting burnt out. She has some depression going on, which a lot of people do have, especially now in this climate, what's going on with COVID. Excuse me, I'm a little congested. But Sasha Banks only being in WWE for 6 years, she looked like a 15-year ring veteran in there. She came down there and commanded everything. Like Bianca's nerves, not nerves, her love of the business and realizing her dream came true overwhelmed her. You saw it in
Yes.
her face. She was like this. And she gave Sasha the nod in the beginning. And Sasha gave her the nod too by not breaking character. Sasha was a consummate professional the entire time. And I don't know what to say other than to me, this is one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history to me. I don't care if they're women. I don't care if they're black. That's set aside. That they're beautiful. They're beautiful, strong black women. Let's set that aside for a minute. Let's talk about the wrestling. The match was 5 star in my opinion. Dave Meltzer, are you watching this? You know what a 5 star rating is. That was a 5 star match. It had everything. It shows Bianca's athleticism, showed her poise, it showed her dedication. Sasha showed her wrestling ability, how she can tell a story, how she showed that she was the boss. I don't know what else to say about this match, but the match was great. I want to say one main thing before I let you take it over. When Sasha got hit with that hair whip, listen, that was a planned spot, as you all well know. That spot was planned. They rat tailed the end of her ponytail with some black electrical tape, whatever it was, hit Sasha right on the mark. And she sold that and even turned to the cameraman and showed it, which was beautiful. After that, we take it home. The KOD, nice reversal from the backstabber to the round around with the both arms into the KOD for the 1, 2, 3. Your new women's champion, Bianca Belair. And let me tell you, bro, Bianca Belair was happy for herself. The crowd was happy. Everyone's happy. Her husband, but you know who was very happy for her? Sasha Banks. I'm gonna let you take it from there. I know I talked a long time, but I just had to put everything in. I know you're gonna repeat some things because we saw the same thing, but I am so proud of them. And I just want to point something else out. I told everyone this is gonna be the match to steal WrestleMania, and there was some great matches, but this one stole the show. JB, what you got to say?
Well, let me start off. We all know about the history that was made. The first two black people to ever main event a WrestleMania. Okay, we know about that. And yes, they were women that did it also. Number two, number two, Sasha was a ring general in that match. Like you said, Bianca got overwhelmed about the moment, the time, the emotions took over. She was crying before the match started. The ring general and Sasha had to wake her up. If you saw some of the times in the corner, Sasha was giving her a hard shot, like to wake her up. And then all of a sudden, the Bianca we know came out of nowhere. And you got to give Sasha a lot of credit for that, man. Like, get out the moment. We got a job to do. Let's perform for these fans. And the match itself was just magical. The match told one hell of a story. One hell of a story. And if you don't think it told a hell of a story, something is wrong with you. Big time. It told a hell of a story. And then at the end of the match, like Tony said, Sasha was happy. Sasha was on the side of the entrance, and there's a video out, and they show Sasha just smiling because she was happy for Bianca, also smiling because of the type of match they put on for the fans, and also for the history that was performed that night. Um, me being a Sasha fan, I was not mad that Sasha lost that match. I wasn't mad. I was happy for Bianca. They need also new women to be involved in the title pictures to build stories around. And you see that with Bianca. You see that with Rhea Ripley as they both won championships. You see it with Raquel Gonzalez when she moved up one day. So they needed new faces to put out there. And then you never know, Rhea and Bianca might be the future of the company for the next couple of years. We've seen Alexa be Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, Bailey for 7 years now. 7 years. That's a long time. 7 years. So now you need some new blood. Who else can you put into these title pictures? What kind of new rivalries can we make with these women? And Bianca and Rhea are two great choices in my opinion. But back to the match, man. That was one of the best main event matches in WrestleMania history. And my hat goes off to both women. It was just amazing. That's how I felt about it. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And that match cannot leave my mind.
You made a good point there. You know how you're saying this. Every time you're talking about them, it's like you were in the match. You feel proud, don't you?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, me too. I feel so proud of both of them. And this now we'll talk about the how deep this is when it comes to just let's go with the two women first. First of all, let's talk about this women's main event. We all know that there was a women's main event in a triple threat. Um, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey at 29. Excuse me, at 35 in New
Yes.
York. And of course, it was a great main event. And we know why that happened. That happened mainly because Ronda Rousey was, in the picture. Don't get me
That's right.
wrong. Not that Charlotte and Becky don't deserve it because they do.
Right.
But this one meant something different. And let me tell you why. People say, "Oh, well, it was two nights WrestleMania. It wasn't the main event." Bullshit. It
Definitely.
was two. It was two nights WrestleMania. It is a main event on one night. It's a main event on another night. And
That's
I
right.
don't care what you say. It was a main event. And for it to be two women that are just basically, on the cups of 30 for Sasha and a little over 30 for Bianca Belair. They're both in their prime right now. Both
Mm-hmm.
in their prime. For them to put on the show they did, to be the last show, to be the last match, and put that kind of match on, says a lot as wrestlers. Not just women, as wrestlers. Because that means that the next day, everybody's got to deliver because they closed out the show on Saturday night. So Sunday, they got to step their game up. That's why they had Bray Wyatt and Randy first because they figured the star power. We'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about that later, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But um, those two women, to me, top five WrestleMania main event of all time. Now, African American, being black. Listen, what else can I say?
Right.
About damn time.
Yep.
About time. They paid their dues. And I'm thinking about it right now, and I don't. I guess at the moment I was proud, and I'm like really thinking right now because my daughter, when I got home, Kira said to me, "Dad, Bianca won. Sasha, that match was so great." She goes, "Wow, my daughter's a big wrestling fan too. Just so you guys don't know, my daughter loves Paige, big Paige fan. Still hoping for her to come back and everything." And my daughter was like, "Dad, I probably could wrestle too. I could do it." And she never said that before. She
Mm-hmm.
never said that before. I'm a former wrestler. I'm a retired wrestler. She has never said, "Dad, I want to wrestle like you." She said, "I could do it too." Yo, so imagine all the little girls of color that saw that. that don't even watch wrestling. Maybe they're not going to wrestle. Maybe they're going to run track, or maybe they're going to be beauticians, or maybe they're going to be bus drivers. They just saw two women do something that people, if you said this 20 years ago, forget 50 years, 20 years ago, two black women in the main. You telling me that you could see Jackie and Jazz in the main event of WrestleMania? No, right,
Exactly. I'm
bro?
with you.
This is
Right.
it was epic. If you weren't moved by this match, you're not a wrestling fan.
Yes, and they did it for all black children, black girls that were watching, and all girls in general that were watching. This was a movement in history with Bianca and Sasha main eventing a night of WrestleMania, and this will forever be a top moment in my mind. I had to buy a shirt, the Bianca and Sasha shirt that was in the WrestleMania stores, just because
Right
this
on.
is a moment of history, and we don't know if we ever see this ever again.
Oh, we
Or
will.
how well we will definitely, but we don't know. We might not see it next year. We might not see it the year after.
Right.
You know, time will tell. But definitely, man, this was a moment I will never forget. You won't forget. Many of us across the world won't forget this moment.
I dare say that the moment was tantalizing.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. Definitely. Now, main event of night two: Daniel Bryan, Edge, and Roman Reigns. You talk about another great main event that we had. To me, the best triple threat main event since WrestleMania 30. And this had everything from weapons to outside interference. You name it. It had it all. It had it all. But the right decision was made to keep Roman as champion. It was the right decision. There's no need for Daniel Bryan to win. Not at all. He's about to go part time. Not at all. As far as Edge, you know, yes, we everybody wanted to see Edge win again. He never lost that belt since he retired. He had to vacate that belt. I think there's still a chance for Edge to win the championship somewhere down the line, but we will see. But man, Roman is the man right now. He's the most hated heel. I actually thought Roman would have got cheered because this is what people wanted years ago for Roman to be a heel. Roman got booed. So these people now that's booing Roman, who wanted Roman to be heel, they really hate Roman as a heel. They hate him for his character right now. And Roman played to the crowd, talked trash to the crowd at the beginning of the match, during the match, at the end of the match. What a heel is supposed to do. You couldn't go wrong with Roman winning this match. You couldn't. It's the right decision made. Go ahead, my friend.
Listen, after the night we had with Sasha and Bianca, I was nervous about Sunday night to see if they were going to deliver. And deliver they did. Um, I can't say nothing bad about any of these gentlemen. Everything they did was right. I like how they broke up the one-on-one matches here and there. We got to see Daniel versus Edge finally one-on-one, which is
Mm-hmm.
great. We saw Daniel versus Roman one-on-one, which we've seen before, which is always great. We saw Edge versus Roman one-on-one, which is, listen, to me, main event Jey Uso is the factor in this match.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Gets carried out, comes back.
Like we didn't know he wasn't coming back. We knew he was coming back, man. We knew it.
Whether we knew it or not, they did it at the right time. They did it
Yeah.
perfectly. It was just Paulie, Paul Heyman is just a genius. The way his facial expressions, just everything was so great. And I think I predicted Edge was going to win. I think that was my pick. I'm not sure at this point because so much is going on since our prediction show. But I wasn't mad because I had a head of the table shirt just like you had too. I
Mm-hmm.
wore it that night, of course, and I was very happy that Roman won. Um, like you said, Daniel Bryan had no need to win. Daniel Bryan didn't want to win. Daniel Bryan was in the main event at another WrestleMania. He fulfilled his dream again,
Yeah.
which is what he wanted to do. And one of my alarms is going off. Give me a second. Um, I'm so sorry. I'm having an issue here with my phone. My apologies. Um, Edge not winning the title he lost, that he never lost, was tough because I really thought he was going to do it. But like you said, the right decision was made. Roman pinned both these guys, stacked them, like you said. There is a little bit of an argument that Daniel Bryan was pinned by Edge first
Right.
because Edge was on top of him, but that's an angle they could work later on. Um, Roman getting booed. I expected Roman to get a little cheers, but I did expect the boos. I did
Okay.
expect the boos, which is fine because you got to boo the heel, and he did his job. Even when they came out at the beginning of Saturday night, Roman was in his suit, mean mugging. He didn't smile. He
Mm-mm.
played it. He played it right. He played it right. When all the other wrestlers were smiling and clapping, he just stood there like, I don't give a fuck about you, which was awesome. He showed that he is a heel, and that's where he should stay. Kudos to Roman Reigns. You're defending, reigning Universal Champion. The guy has everything.
My question now is, what is next for Daniel Bryan and Edge? If you watch SmackDown, we thought Cesaro was going to be in this title picture all of a sudden when he went to confront Roman, but Seth then interfered in that match against Jey Uso. So apparently Seth and Cesaro are going to have another match. What's next for Roman right now? Is and Daniel? Well, what's next for Daniel and Edge?
Well, I think they've thrown some variables out there. We didn't see Edge or Daniel Bryan
No,
on SmackDown.
right?
Am I right?
That's correct.
Which I think is perfect. Leave him off TV. Leave him off for another week, because now we don't
Mm-hmm.
know what's going on. So Cesaro confronts Roman, but doesn't get the match he wants, and then Seth comes out and causes trouble. So now we have Cesaro who wants to be in the title picture, but can't be because he got to still deal with Seth, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Jey Uso playing, distractor, the distractor in chief. Who anybody that comes up Roman's lane, he's there to swerve him. I don't know what's in the cards for Roman, but I do know what's in the cards for Daniel Bryan and Edge. They're going one on one at Backlash. I feel it. I
Okay.
feel like I feel like at WrestleMania Backlash, and we'll talk. I want to talk about that name too. At WrestleMania Backlash, I think Daniel Bryan and Edge go one on one. I think they have to.
Okay.
I think Edge doesn't have a problem losing to Roman. I think he has a problem that if Daniel Bryan wasn't in the match, that he had a better chance to beat Roman because he would have to look all different ways. We knew Jey Uso was going to be an issue. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But I think Edge really holds some animosity towards Daniel Bryan for weaseling his way into the main event.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a great matchup. Edge and Daniel Bryan 1-on-1. Winner takes on Roman. Number one contenders match. Roman sits at ringside. I'm with that. I'm with
Draw
that.
this out. Let me say one thing. I think that that's the way they're going to go. I think you throw Cesaro in the mix, maybe have even a triple threat at another pay per view. Because if you heard the rumors, SummerSlam will have fans.
Yes, SummerSlam. I heard the same thing. SummerSlam having fans either in Tampa or Orlando. I heard.
So what a match that would be to put Edge versus Roman at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Perfect. Now let's go on to probably the person that stole the show, and you know who I'm talking about. Bad Bunny.
Wow.
Oh, let's talk about the entrance Bad Bunny had. The entrance he had with the truck on the big screen, the truck coming in, perfect. Bad Bunny and his wrestling ability and wrestling skills, that he worked on for the past couple months, bruh, 4 months, 4 months. This dude caught on so fast. My goodness, that is the best celebrity ever to wrestle in a wrestling ring. Ever. We can say Pat McAfee up there. You can say what Floyd Mayweather did with training with Triple H was pretty good, but nobody looked like Bad Bunny.
Stephen Amell was good.
Yeah, Stephen Amell is good. Yes, yes. But nobody looked like Bad Bunny. My goodness. That there man was a sight to see, especially being there. The crowd popped for everything that he did because I don't. The crowd didn't think he could do all that, and just leaving us in stunned amazement for everything that he did. And then when celebrities are in a match, and I'm going to exclude Floyd Mayweather. Okay, if celebrities in a match, the match is usually not that long. It was a tag team match. They won't be in there for a very long time. Bad Bunny started the match. Now they're gonna say no, Damian Priest started the match. Nothing happened with Damian Priest in the ring. Damian Priest was there. Miz says, I want Bunny. Damian Priest tagged Bad Bunny. Bunny was in that ring for forever. Damian Priest probably was in the ring a total of 3 minutes. Total. Bad Bunny was in the ring for a long time. That showed that he had cardio to be in the ring for that long. So, man, this man training was phenomenal. People came out and said that how much he respects the wrestling business. And that shows. And then when you got people like Randy Orton coming out and saying, watching him train, this and that, and he gets my respect. He just didn't get Randy Orton's respect. He got the whole wrestling world's respect.
Listen, the section I was sitting in was very predominantly Hispanic, and Bad Bunny has a following, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never heard of Bad Bunny before. It's
Seriously?
not my genre of music. I'm not gonna lie. I never heard of. My kids know of him. I never even heard of Bad Bunny. No lie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He he
So when
he
he came,
on he's on one of Cardi B hits from her first album. I like it like that.
oh okay,
Yeah, that's
I
him
do.
on that one.
Okay, so I have heard of him then, but I haven't. I never knew who the guy was,
Yeah.
and it really was like, oh, another celebrity, and I just couldn't see it. And then when he did the single leg trip into the arm drag, into the Oklahoma roll, I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, bro. That guy put the work in, bro.
Yes.
He put the time in. Celebrities at WrestleMania are sometimes a bust. Snooki, Maria Menounos.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them like ugh, you know.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you, if that guy wanted to wrestle for the cruiserweight title, he probably could, bro. Like the guy was so impressive. But I want to say something else. Forget Bad Bunny's performance, which we all know was great. And I know a lot of people are gonna be happy from MVS me saying this. I give more credit to the Miz than anybody.
Oh yeah, you
The
got to. Yes.
Miz, the Miz. I don't care what. If you hated the Miz before, you can't hate the Miz now. You're not allowed to hate the Miz. The Miz is exactly what he says he is. Awesome.
Yes.
The Miz was so giving in that match. The Miz showed why he loves his business and why he is the only two-time Grand Slam champion. Everybody thought that this was, me included, that this was a step down from the WWE title. Like you just had the title a month before WrestleMania, and now you're in a tag match with Bad Bunny, some rapper, bro. I'll have a tag match against the Miz before I win the title any day.
Yeah.
That his and of course props to John Morrison and of course Damian Priest as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Miz is the one he's hated. He's hated. He's disrespected. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. And if you can't respect the Miz after this, then you're not a real wrestling fan. Because you don't have to like him personally. You gotta like what the guy's done and how far he's come. He's a 15-year veteran now.
Yes.
15 years. The guy came from a reality show and paid his dues with failed gimmicks, failed partners, everything. And still main evented WrestleMania 27 against John Cena. And cashed in the Money in the Bank and won the title again, regardless what the circumstances were. Bad Bunny, Damian Priest, John Morrison, and The Miz all get my undying respect for that match.
Yours and mine also. I mean, they had to put up a plan together what to do, and that plan worked. They got Bad Bunny over. They got Damian Priest over too, but Damian Priest about to get over for real at the next pay per view. Um, so yeah, hats off to all four of those guys, man. And
Oh,
that was great. That was just great, man. Because I think you and I was going into that match like, yeah, this gonna be yeah, we know Bunny and them gonna win, but this gonna be man, they totally fooled us, man. And I'm glad. I'm glad. Hats off to the
yeah,
Bunny, all of
yep,
them, definitely. Now, another match that happened. This is on night one. Also, the opening match: Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. I'm gonna let you start that off first.
bro. What can I say? The rain delay
Yeah.
killed the crowd right there.
Mm-hmm.
When Vince came out with everybody, we saw things before you did, of course. So we see them filing out. We're like, okay. I'm like, yo, they're gonna thank us, and I was really overwhelmed. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, I was too.
I was tearing up because I was like, yo, we're back in WrestleMania. And we were cheering WrestleMania. And yo, it was loud. It
Yes,
was loud for 25,000 people in that big arena. It was it was deafening.
it was.
And when Vince said, "Thank you," I was like, "Yeah, man, you right. Thank us, we right." And when he goes, "Welcome to WrestleMania," yo, I lost my shit. I was like, "Yeah, we're back.
Yes.
Can't wait, can't wait." And then, ladies and gentlemen, due to oncoming lightning, we must evacuate. We were like, "No," and the crowd died. Came back out. They did a nice little impromptu vignette backstage with Bobby and Drew. I like that. That was thrown in the last minute. Try to build up the tension, but the
Mm-hmm.
crowd wasn't the same from that point. But they still were invested.
Yeah.
Now we all thought Drew was going to win that. I do believe my prediction stated that Bobby Lashley would win. I think he might have said the same thing. I'm not sure what we said. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't remember what happened a week ago. It's a blur.
me too. I'm with you. I can remember who I
But
picked. I wanna say I said Drew. I wanna say I said Drew.
whatever the case was, the
Right.
match delivered. The match delivered. Very physical. Very just a physical. These guys are like they're trying to kill each other. I mean, the belly to bellies, overhead belly to bellies were incredible. What the height that Bobby Lashley was getting on those belly to bellies going over the head, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, we didn't see a spear and we didn't see a claymore. That people say,
Not at
oh
all.
well, there was a spear in the corner. No, that's a shoulder block into the corner. It's different.
Yes.
Didn't see a spear or a claymore. And for Bobby to make Drew pass out shocked me.
Shocked us.
Shocked. I thought that we might see Cedric and Shelton come out. Didn't happen. We didn't get our wish, but we did get what should have happened. Bobby Lashley retained the title, which was the right thing to do. Bobby Lashley waited 17 years. Usually, when you have a title like that, there's usually a transitional champion. They threw a swerve at us. Said, we all thought Drew was going to get his moment in front of fans, but he did. He got his moment because all the cheers he got were for him winning the title those last two times. He got his moment in front of the fans. He did. He got it that Saturday. He did. But what happened should have happened, and still, your WWE champion, the Almighty Bobby Lashley.
There's a report out there somewhere that said when Drew walked out, he had to hold his emotions in. When he walked out, when they played his music, because he was getting emotional, just walking out in the crowd cheering for him. He was getting emotional. And I'm sure that was hard for anybody. Rhea Ripley was on stage, and she said that she was trying to hold it in. She looked at Edge, and she said Edge was boo-hooing on stage, and looked at her while he was crying and winked at her, and she started crying. So I know when it was on stage, it was hard because you haven't seen fans in over a year. And then Drew said he walked off to his music, and everybody was cheering for him. He had to hold it in also. So that was a we could say a tough time for all of them because here they all back with fans. Now back to the match. Bobby and Drew had to deliver. Y'all are the first match back in front of fans. You had to start it off with a bang. I told that on another. I typed it in. There's another show they were talking. I typed it in because they said Bobby and Drew shouldn't be the opening act because they worked too hard for all these years. And I was like, no, they should because it's the first one back in front of a crowd, and they need to start the match off with a bang. You should want them to be the first one, and starting the match off on a bang is what they did, man. Like you said, hard hitting. We had reversals. Drew broke out of the hurt lock or didn't let Bobby lock it up two times before the third time Bobby got it in. And then to see that Bobby won that fair and clean, fair and clean as a heel, man, that says a lot right there. And I said this to you. I said, you know, Drew does deserve a moment of winning the title in front of fans. And I think he will get that moment again sometime down the line. But for Bobby, who was with the WWE before and really never got a moment and waited all those years to become world champion, this was truly, truly deserving for him to achieve. And the right call was made once again. Those two guys put on a hell of a match. It was a good match. I liked it. You couldn't have started off a WrestleMania to me with any other match besides those two guys right there. Maybe Kevin Owens and a Sami Zayn, which was on Sunday. Maybe you could have started that off. I think that they should have started that match off on Sunday. But we're about to get into that Fiend and Bray Wyatt one in a minute. But back to Bobby and Drew. This is the number one match that should have started off either night, in my opinion.
They say in wrestling you want to be the last match. If you can't be the last match, you want to be the first match. So it was the right call. It's the right call.
Definitely. Now, like I just said, about to get into this Fiend and Randy Orton situation that I
Debacle.
debacle that the storyline to me, the creative team just destroyed, in my opinion.
Drop the ball.
So the Fiend, the Fiend, what's his obligation? To get revenge on anyone that did Bray Wyatt wrong or defeated Bray Wyatt in a match. And Randy Orton is one of those people that defeated Bray Wyatt at a WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. That was at Orlando at 33. So pretty much, you think the Fiend gonna get his revenge, right? And you've seen the Fiend in matches against the people that he wants to get revenge against. They don't win. They don't win, and he makes them go back to another type of character, with Seth and Daniel Bryan. And the match was Seth couldn't beat him with 20 curve stomps. He kept kicking out at one. Seth got all these weapons and threw on him, and he got out of that. So to go to this match here, and for Bray Wyatt to lose to a RKO, not even kick out. And as we saw in the past of how he kicks out of everything, he's unstoppable. That bothered me right then and there because you messed up a whole storyline from a long time ago when Seth held the belt. You messed it up. So now you're pretty much saying he's beatable. He's a beatable character, and that's what I don't like. And then now the whole thing with Alexa Bliss, if you saw Raw, now she don't need him and she could do this and that. You could have left out this whole storyline from the get go. From the get go. So it's like nothing right now makes sense. So now we're gonna have a feud eventually with Alexa and the Fiend, bruh. I don't get it. That was a match. If you go with the storyline, the Fiend should have won, and then maybe Alexa does something after the match to turn on him, but not during the match. And then from what we've seen all these times, he doesn't even kick out of the RKO. It made no sense to me, and that's why we, as the crowd at WrestleMania, we booed. We booed because that made no sense. And then you, the Fiend morphs back to his normal looking self. I don't get it. I don't get it. If I'll say this, if the Fiend was still a burnt Fiend and he lost to the RKO, I might say something different because hey, he's all burnt up and da whatever. But nah, that wasn't supposed to happen.
So yeah, you can see my enthusiasm about talking about this. Waste of a match, waste of a WrestleMania moment, waste of everything, waste of a storyline. This guy, they build this for months and months and months. And that's the payoff? That piece of crap? I've seen backyard matches better than that.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, wasted. The Fiend character, to me, destroyed. Only when it don't look bad is Randy Orton.
That's it.
RKO's devastating move. Okay, you pin him. Okay, we get it. But like you said, the curb stomp is devastating as well. And you kick out at one. Not once, not twice, not three times. Multiple times. And one RKO puts you out. And then Alexa Bliss with this, told you this shit, this 1990 Ultimate Warrior
Papa Shango
bullshit again. We booed them out the building. And I'm not going to dignify the rest of this show. We're talking about that match. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Let's move on. I'm with it. Now, let's talk about the actual women's tag team match. I was upset with this because to me, Natty deserves a moment. Natty deserves a WrestleMania moment. So does Tamina. They've been there for a long time. Natty was courteous enough the night before to let Tamina get the pin. She changed the ending right then and there.
On the fly.
On the fly, yes. Changed the ending. And you saw Tamina, she didn't know what was going on. She was like, her face said it all. She was confused, like, huh? And she said, you get the pin, dive. And she let Tamina dive and get the pin. And you saw Tamina was a little emotional after the pin,
Yeah.
Hats off to Natty for being that courteous, because Natty was supposed to get that ending. But man, how you don't put the belt on Natty? Natty been with this company since 2008. And you know how many times Natty been a champion? Twice. A one-time Divas champion, a one-time SmackDown Women's champion. And to me, that's a disgrace to her. A disgrace of what's been done to her. Let me say that. Because Natty is one of the best in the world, one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. She helped train others. She's helped put others over. She does what's right for the business. So why not give Natty a WrestleMania moment? Why not? I felt bad for them. I really did. Because she deserves it. Natty deserves it to me more than any other women's wrestler on the roster. To me, to have a WrestleMania moment. Tamina been there for a long time too. She deserves it. You could have put the belts on them that night, have them celebrate in the ring, and then the next night on Monday Night Raw, have them lose to Nia and Shayna again. You could have done that just to fulfill a moment, but you couldn't even do that. To me, that was heartbreaking. That was a disgrace. That was terrible. It was sad. They deserve better than that. And I was really upset when that happened. Really upset.
Yeah. I want to know what the problem is. Why they keep doing Tamina dirty? Because Tamina Snuka, yes, she's had some injuries. So what? She comes back from them. She does what they ask. She's a beast.
Yeah.
She's great to look at. She's a very um big personality. Yeah, she's not great on the mic. So what? You don't gotta be. How you don't make this chick a total Samoan, you know, dynasty opponent, like a devastating opponent? It's beyond me. And you have a chance now to give two women their WrestleMania moment that really haven't had one, whose families are the legacy of this business.
Yes.
The Hearts and the Wise.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Especially Jamina, who has only held the 24/7 title, which does not even count. Come on, man. You don't give her the tag title just for her legacy, for her family, just to say, let's give her something. You don't give Natty a pat on the head. Thanks for everything you've done. Like, Natty is jobbed for everyone.
Everybody.
Like, she still looks great,
Yes.
beautiful, great in the ring, technically just sound, doesn't make mistakes.
Right.
I, I can't understand who books some of this stuff sometimes. I got no problem with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
I
I
don't
like them as
either.
a tag team. Like
Mm-hmm.
you said, they could have pulled a Zack Ryder Miz thing where they win the titles and lose the next night. At least it goes in the books that Tamina was tag team champion and Natty was tag team champion. How is that to do? Come
In,
on.
in front of crowds coming back for the first time at WrestleMania.
Not
That
to mention, perfect example, in front of a crowd. And the next night, there's no crowd. So guess what? You give it back to Nia and what's her name? Nia and Shayna. It's not a big deal.
right. Right.
Come on.
Oh man. We saw New Day lose to AJ Styles and Omos. So AJ and Omos are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. We saw Kevin Owens defeat um, Sami Zayn in a good match. We saw Sheamus become U.S. champion by defeating Riddle. Bro, that bro kick was something else. Wow. And when I say
Wow.
something else, he really hit him. He kicked him, bro. It was on the money, man. That was done wonderful, man. Riddle going for a flip. Paya.
In the
Oh
face.
man. In
In
the
the
face.
face.
Yes, indeed. And before we move on to our next topic, but let's give Cesaro his due. Finally, finally getting a WrestleMania moment in a solo match. A solo match, a one-on-one match. Yeah, he got it 7 years ago by winning the Battle Royal. Yeah,
Which
that
is
was
great.
huge. Yes. But finally, a one-on-one match that he should have been gotten years ago against somebody. Because the man is just that talented. And hats off to Seth Rollins also. Definitely hats off to Seth Rollins. That was a great match. We got the King of Swing, and then I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna call it King of Spin. But he's had Seth on his shoulders and just spinning. Yes, gravity when you spinning held him on, but man, I never saw that before. That was just truly remarkable.
A no hand airplane spin is what it's called.
Okay,
That's it. Old school, when you do this, it's airplane spin.
gotcha.
He did, you know what we should call it? The no wing the airplane spin. Airplane spin with no wings. Because, bro, he balanced him on the back of his neck. And you gotta give Seth credit. Because Seth has to lay it perfectly
Yeah,
and breathe right. And Cesaro's got to spin right. Let me tell you, man, those two together are money, gold. That is the most. They showed on SmackDown like 8 times.
8 times. Yeah, The
It
whole
must
night
be.
they showed him SmackDown.
It is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in a wrestling ring. That was incredible.
I mean, think about it. Cesaro has two of the most impressive things we've ever seen at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
He picked up Big Show with ease, man.
and dumped
Big
him.
Show Big Show didn't put his hand on the thigh or nothing. He
Nope,
picked him up
nope.
and just dumped him, and then he has this move.
Yep,
Wow.
bro. It's something else. He
Yes,
deserves it.
sir.
The
Yeah,
guy's great.
definitely.
He is the Swiss Superman.
Yes, he is. That is correct. That is correct. Now, to something else that made us upset, disappointed. The WWE releases, or
Oh,
AKA the Post Mania releases.
oh,
And I'm gonna let you go first with this.
oh! You really want to let me go
Yeah.
first?
Oh, I'm gonna let you go first with this one, my brother. Yes, sir. You go ahead, start it off.
I'm gonna go backwards.
Okay.
Bo Dallas, I understand. He's got real estate stuff going on. He's a real estate genius, I hear. I think we'll see Bo Dallas again some way, somehow. Tucker, I get it. I get it. Nothing for him. I get it. Chelsea Green, injuries held her back, but give her a chance at least. But no. Um, who else? Blake, right? Oh no, what's his name?
We- Wesley Blake.
Wesley Blake, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they broke up the whatever the Sons or whatever their name is,
Yeah. Them. Uh huh.
and whatever. Now we get to Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. You bring up the Iconics, why? Why? Of Peyton Royce, we know was a much better much better wrestler of the group, but they complement each other. Billy Kay worked as hard as she could, and she did to me. Her bumps weren't the best. She very sloppy with bump, but who cares? She was funny as hell with that resume deal,
Bruh. Yeah. I'm gonna get to that later. Go ahead.
and not to mention that she Billy Kay is one of the most loved people backstage. They
Hmm.
love her. Peyton Royce came on Talking Smack or Raw Talk, whichever one it was. She was like, "Give me Oscar." They broke them up to push Peyton and never pushed her.
Never.
So like, why bring up the icon? If you're not gonna push them, keep the icons together because they were good. They were funny. They were that match, that bathroom break match that you stayed to watch.
Hmm.
So that's that. Now, Samoa Joe. What the fuck? This guy, Samoa Joe, is a beast. Samoa Joe, yo, even if he still was hurt because of his concussion issue, the fucking guy transitioned to commentary, and he was the best thing happening. Not to mention, he was on the bump. He did the pre-shows and his one-on-one interviews. He just had that one-on-one interview with Big
Big E.
E.
Hmm.
You release this fucking guy. Now the rumor is he wanted to go, and if that's the case, God bless him. But if it's not the case, this guy is a future Hall of Famer and it should be WWE champion, in my opinion. He single-handedly dominated NXT. He's one of only three men to hold the NXT title two times. And for you not to be able to run with this Samoan gimmick when he's not part of the Samoan dynasty, bro, who the fuck is booking this? That you don't get Samoa Joe, who has gone to every organization and dominated. You give him the U.S. title one time. He won the Dusty Classic. Okay. He's a two-time NXT champion. Okay. He got a concussion. Okay. I'm pretty sure he was cleared. And if he's not cleared, I think the WWE is a little too overprotective.
Yeah, we talk about a concussion from over a year ago.
Right. Concussion serious, don't get me wrong. I get it.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I'm pretty sure that Joe went to other doctors and other doctors cleared him.
I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure WWE doctors do what the powers that be tell them to do.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's a head scratcher. I'm not happy. I'm in shock. I'm pissed. I don't want Samoa Joe to go somewhere where they're gonna mid card his ass. He's 42 years old now.
Yeah.
What do you do? Where do you go, bro? I hope that something happens with his 90 days. They bring him back because he deserves his run in WWE. He deserves a match with Brock, with Bobby, with Roman again. He deserves a push. The guy is just phenomenal. Excuse me, AJ, but it's just the truth. He is. Oh God.
Samoa Joe is an awesome talent, and that's that. When I saw that one, I really can believe it. I really can believe it. I mean, to me, I've been asking myself over a year, and Samoa Joe has not gotten back in the ring. And this goes back to when Daniel Bryan was cleared from all of his doctors, but WWE didn't want to clear him. I think it's the same boat that WWE just didn't want to clear Samoa Joe to wrestle. And I don't get it because if you got a concussion, which is a serious deal, but a concussion don't last for over a year. Ain't no way. It's because Samoa Joe wouldn't be commentating because the lights would give him problems. So that's strange. Number one. Number two, Samoa Joe was the best thing on commentary. The best thing. And he called WrestleMania. He
In a
called
poncho.
Wrestle in a poncho. Correct. He called WrestleMania. So you telling me, man, you couldn't keep Samoa Joe to continue to do commentary at least? I was upset with that. I was. Samoa Joe definitely did not deserve to be let go. Now, the Iconics. I wasn't a big fan of the Iconics together. I wasn't. On the mic, yes. In the ring, I was not. I felt like Billy Kay, you know, just wasn't ready yet to be in a wrestling ring. I felt like that was holding back Peyton Royce because I saw potential with Peyton Royce. The split happened. I saw Peyton Royce in a solo match. I was like, whoa, okay. And then the gimmick they gave Billy Kay. Bruh, they should have let her run with this gimmick for the longest because this gimmick was gold. This was gold. This gimmick was so gold. There were a lot of people that said Billy Kay should have been a host for WrestleMania. A lot of people said that. So to see them go when Peyton Royce never got an opportunity and Billy Kay with this gimmick was just starting to take off, that was a travesty. I did not like that. Mickey James got
Oh,
let go.
I forgot her.
Yeah,
My girl.
Mickey James got let go. And
Oh.
Mickey James is another big time vet you need in the locker room. Big time. You let that go.
She
Chelsea
just
Green.
hosted the she's hosted the NXT show the night 2 nights ago, right before WrestleMania.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, definitely. Man, Chelsea Green. Injuries. The first show on her first debut match on SmackDown, she got injured. Hadn't been back on TV since. You let her go. You never gave her a chance to even shine on the main roster. That's wrong. Tucker.
Okay.
Tucker. That was doomed when Otis was getting over. That was doomed. I think we saw this happening because once they split them up, Otis is still on TV. Tucker is never on TV. That was doomed from the start. I liked Heavy Machinery as a tag team. I think they could have, you know, went somewhere with both of them together still. Tucker got the raw end of the stick. He's out of there. Um, Bo Dallas, yeah, I understand that. Wesley Blake, I understand. And we both. Oh yeah, it just hit me. The hype man, hype bro, Mojo
Mojo.
Rawley, Mojo wasn't being used. A battle royal winner from WrestleMania
2.
33, 33,
33. 33.
Orlando. Yeah,
Oh, right, right,
when
right.
when Gronk. Um, I think out of everybody here, I think Peyton Royce will be at AEW. Sean Spears is her boyfriend. I think she
Husband.
goes. Oh, they married. Okay,
I think so, yeah.
all right. I think she goes to AEW. Chelsea Green might go back to Impact Wrestling. Mickey James could go back to Impact Wrestling. Samoa Joe, somebody's gonna sign him, man. Somebody gonna hop on that immediately, unless WWE can offer him something to bring him
If
back.
if I'm Samoa Joe, I go to New Japan.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He would be great
definitely.
there, man.
Woody, oh man,
And
yeah,
then
definitely.
WWE, and then in a year, WWE be calling his name, bro. Like, oh, we're gonna give you 5 million a year. Cause yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Joe to go to AEW just so I can see him on TV, but he'll get lost in the shuffle,
Yeah, exactly.
just like Rusev,
Miro, yeah, yep.
just like just like Sean Spears.
Well, Sean
It's
Spears
just
part of that faction now, the Pinnacle.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
on TV now,
yeah. We'll see what happens.
getting knocked out by Mike Tyson.
Right.
Now, let's speaking of AEW,
You got any questions? Anybody got any questions?
we don't have any questions. Nope,
Okay,
no
good, good,
questions.
good.
Yeah.
Don't answer questions. Good.
Speaking of AEW, Jade Cargill, my brother. Jade Cargill looks good in the ring.
Oh,
You don't think so?
I do, I do, I do. The the, the posing, man, the
The
posing.
posing, okay, the posing gets you.
Yeah,
Jade
yeah.
Cargill looks good in the ring, and somebody said that the match she had with Red Velvet was only her third match ever.
What?
Yes,
That's good.
that's wonderful. So my question to you in regards to Jade Cargill, you have Britt Baker, you got Thunder Rosa, and you got Sheeta, but can Jade Cargill actually be the one women's wrestler that could be the savior for AEW's women's division?
Oh, oh, I don't know. She looks good. She looks great. A few things throw off about me. The posing and just the her psychology isn't all there yet in the ring. It's
Right.
just a little. It's off. I don't
But
think
think
she's a
about
big
it.
enough. Yeah,
Psychology off and only her third wrestling match.
no, I
It's,
got
it,
you.
it, it got to come. Yeah.
But that's too much to put on her shoulders. She
Hmm.
can't carry. She can't carry it. She can't carry the moniker of the women in the locker room. Like, she's not ready. I,
Okay.
I, I think she's a talent. I just don't think that she's mentally ready. I think if you put the rocket on her back, she'll falter.
Okay.
She's great to look at. She's it's she just plays. She's too playful for me in the ring. Too playful. Too much of a I don't know. It's something about her, man. I think she's good. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
I just don't think she's great. I think she's good.
I think in due time, not yet. Let's give it maybe a couple years. I think Jade Cargill would be the women's champion of that division. The savior as of right now, no, not yet. Britt Baker is the face of the women's division, and she's not even a champion. But Um, when I started posing first, I was like, yeah, it's a little bit too much. But when she came out in a promo and says, I look like money, I walk like money, I talk like money, and I am that bitch. I was like, okay, with that phrase, I see why you do the posing now. I see why. It go hand in hand in my opinion. Hand in hand in my opinion. But I think in a couple of years she will be champion. I just don't think you can hold an individual or talent like that back unless she got backstage heat and doing whatever, and they got to bury her or whatever. But I think in a couple of years, Jade Cargill.
Believe it or not, I think she would do better. Excuse me, in WWE. I think they would know better with or NXT. I think if she
NXT.
came. I think if she came to NXT, she'd be a beast there.
Yeah.
She's somebody I could see going up against Raquel Gonzalez. You know, I
Uh-huh.
think that I think she'd be a better fit at NXT, and they hone her craft, and then she'd be ready to go. That's what
Okay.
I would do. You know what I'm saying.
Good point. That's a good point. Very good point. Now, NXT, we saw, Dexter Loomis take Indy Hartwell in the back. Then Indy Hartwell got back with the way and said, I did it for y'all, whatever she said. And Johnny was going off, you just can't leave us, whatever. We also
Took one,
saw
took one for the team.
T, yeah, took one for the team. But we saw the debut of Frankie Monet as she interrupted Raquel Gonzalez's celebration speech. So if you don't know who Frankie Monet is, that is Taya Valkyrie, who was part of Impact Wrestling, who's also the wife of John Morrison. But with that being said, there was a huge moment that happened after Frankie Monet. Rhea Ripley came to the ring. Her and Raquel Gonzalez hugged, and then Bianca Belair came into the ring, and they all had their championship belts, and they showed a picture of them when they all was in NXT together, and then they turned and posed with their belts, smiling. Bruh, I think that was a great moment. Like I said earlier, we talked about Bianca. I said the future is in good hands with these three women, and Rhea was NXT champion. Bianca wasn't. We always said that Bianca should have been NXT champion. She never got that opportunity. But now Bianca's a SmackDown champion. Here we have Raquel Gonzalez, who we both like a lot, and she's the NXT Women's Champion. And to have them all in the ring, knowing they all were from NXT, that was a big moment in NXT history.
Huge, 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 huge. Um, what else can you say? Here, I got the picture. I was getting it up. See if I can see that real quick.
Yes, sir. There it is.
My light is a little bright, but
It's all
um,
good.
bro, this picture to me, I was like emotional about it because if you look at their faces in the back, right,
Mm-hmm.
they look like three unsure rookies.
Yeah. Good point.
And then when you look at them with their titles in the air, they're like, "We run this shit." It's like what you got a Hispanic woman, a black woman, and a woman from Australia, a white woman, all diverse, different people. Shows what wrestling's about, diversity.
Mm-hmm.
White woman, black woman, Hispanic woman in the ring together. All travel different paths,
Yeah.
all at the same finish line together, which is how it should be. Um, so proud of all of them.
Yes.
Can't believe Dakota Kai didn't bash Raquel in the back of the head yet,
Right.
but it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. But I like that Dakota Kai was very humble for her friend
Yeah.
and legitimately happy. That they achieved something. Listen, what else can you say? That was just great when Rhea came out. You knew Bianca was coming.
Yeah.
And can we
I
talk
no,
about
I
that?
didn't know. I was shocked. I didn't know. It shocked me. I did not know Bianca was coming.
That I had a feeling once Rhea came. I was like, okay. But you know, I want to say one thing about Bianca. Another thing, her theme song is the shit.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It is something else. I'm a oh, it's just it just fits her. It's
Yes.
it was oh man. I'm just listen. People don't realize this that really everybody watching this is a wrestling fan. If by
Yeah.
some hook or by crook, someone that's not a wrestling fan watches this and sees us fawning over guys in tights and girls in tights, don't judge us. Wrestling is a beautiful thing, man.
Yes.
It
Definitely.
it brings out an emotion in me that just makes me, you know, bro. I was Jared can tell you my health ain't the best. I struggle a little bit, but I had spurts of energy, spurts of greatness at times. You know, especially at one of the shows we had when I did the lap around
Yeah. The ring. Yeah.
the ring. We listen. Wrestling makes you happy, man. It's just to see stuff like this. It's just it's great, man. It's that picture is it tells such a story.
Yes.
It's awesome.
That's a picture that's gonna be shown for a very, very long time. To be honest with
Yeah.
you, long time. And also in NXT, as you all know, the greatest NXT cruiserweight champion of all time. I said NXT because now the cruiserweight championship belongs to NXT. I'm not going back to cruiserweight championship under WWE. That's a different story. But under NXT, Santos Escobar, yes, he is the greatest NXT cruiserweight champion as of right now.
Well, is he?
To me, he is as of
Well,
right
is
now.
he?
And
Is he still? Is he still champion?
I'm about to get into that. He is the greatest NXT champion of all time, in my opinion. But man, when he did that open challenge and Kushida came out, I had a feeling. I said, oh my God, they might finally do something with Kushida because he's lost
Boy,
to Johnny Gargano. He lost to Pete Dunne. Man, I marked out. I marked out when Kushida won. Oh man, now you got stories to tell with Kushida. A rematch with Santos, or does he face Jordan? Because Jordan confronted him. You got a story to tell now with Kushida, and it can go a million different directions. But man, Kushida deserves this moment. Go ahead.
triple threat.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can do a triple threat. Yes, yes, you definitely can. Oh man, I marked out because he deserved this moment. He deserved it.
You
If
you
you
know because she's my boy. So
oh bro, we going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I love that dude.
Yeah, definitely. I was happy for him. I wish. Well, they had a little small crowd, but I wish it could have been like a takeover again in front of 10,000 people, 12,000 people. You know, but happy for Kushida, man. He deserved it, bro. Now I marked out big time when he won. I couldn't believe it.
He deserves it, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next Saturday, right here, same time, next Saturday. This Friday night, though, this Friday night, we're going to be special guests on the Dudes at Ringside podcast with our Metal
Oh,
Geek and Joe the Panther Jr. Yes, we're going to be special guests. Yes, they asked us to be on their show next Friday, right after SmackDown. So you can follow them, Dudes at Ringside Podcast on Twitch, and you can follow it also on YouTube on their channel, Dudes at Ringside. Um, Me and Tony gonna be special guests. I talked to him on what today is. Today is Saturday. I talked to him right before NXT went on the air on Tuesday. So I talked to him, got a chance to um, know who they are, pick their brains a little bit about what's gonna happen. They're gonna talk to us about WrestleMania and all type of other wrestling stuff. So just gonna be questioning us. But we're gonna be on their show, and we hope join us while we're on that show. I can't wait. I know you can't wait.
Yeah, bro. Listen, um, people gonna see these guys who were their guests. They're gonna see what real professionalism's about when they talk to me. So, hope everybody tunes in. Listen, what can we say? We've started to make moves now, as you can see.
Yeah.
JB, why don't you give them your YouTube channel because people still ain't subscribing like they should be.
Well, I'm gonna get to that in a second because
Okay.
I'm about to have your eyes pop open with
Oh
something.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's with something Metal Geek said. All right, and I kept quiet about it. I kept
Okay.
quiet about it.
Oh, is this breaking news?
Oh, it's breaking news.
Hold up.
It's
Wait a minute.
breaking
Wait a minute.
news.
Kira! Kira, we got breaking news here. Kira, get down here. Give me 2 seconds.
I'll give you 2 seconds, man, because your eyes gonna pop. Your eyes gonna pop open.
Okay, she might not hear me, but I guess Go
All
ahead.
right, here we go. So while I was talking to these two guys,
Oh, here they come. Here
Metal.
they come. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So while I was talking to Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr., the two hosts of Dudes at Ringside podcast, Metal Geek said this. He said somewhere during the show, I want to have a promo battle.
Wait, 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 wait. Oh, let me take my hat off. Hold on a second. So you're telling me who is this again? The host of the show? What's his name?
So it's Metal Geek and Joe the Panther. Metal
So
Geek.
Metal Geek and Joe the Panther. Okay, they got the
Uh-huh.
podcast. We're going to their show. Okay,
Yeah.
so Metal Geek said what?
He wants to have a promo battle.
Against who?
Him? Who?
Who? Who?
I sat there, didn't say a word. I said, okay, because he must have never saw you do a promo, my brother. He must have never saw you cut a promo. And I know he want to do it all in fun. I get it. But man, you about to be in trouble on your own show because you don't know Tantalizing Tony and his promos. You do not know. Oh man, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe when he said that. I couldn't believe it. Like, oh my God.
Yo, do you have his Facebook information? Because you need to send him this. Right, you need to send him this. So let me get down to the nitty gritty. So
No,
Metal Geek,
just surprise him on the show because he don't know what he getting.
No, it's cool, but no. I'm not. Trust me, I'm not gonna even tip my hat. All I'm gonna say is this: is Metal Geek. We like to thank you. By the way, I'm Tantilizing Tony, and hi, it's good to meet you. And we can't wait to come onto your show Friday night, right after SmackDown. We hope to have a great dialogue and talk back and forth about some great things. And we'll talk about wrestling, life, whatever you want to talk about, Metal Geek, because I hear you're professional and you know what's going on, as do I. So, Metal Geek, this Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, after SmackDown, I'll be there. Hope to see you.
Oh man, we're thankful for the invite from the Dudes at
We are
Ringside podcast. We are really and we're great.
the dudes at Ringside podcast. That's right.
Yeah,
Thank you. We do thank you.
we do thank you. We're gonna have a good time on your show. We already know it, and the promo battle, like he said, I'm sure it's just in good fun. But he's not gonna win that promo battle. Metal Geek, I'm sorry. So yes, join us at the Dudes at Ringside podcast. That's on Twitch under that name and on YouTube. So join us, please. Also, come back to us Saturday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, right here with us, right here on Over the Top Rope Wrestling Show. My brother, Tantalizing, do you have any last words?
No, because last words means I'm not gonna be back. But let me just say this: I don't know if you guys could see my beautiful ink.
Oh, we
I
see
have.
that, man.
I don't know if you saw my Facebook, but I've showed that I am serious about my whole channel and about who I am. So now it's ingrained in me. You have looked at the greatness of the Tantalizing One. You have your man right here, JB, the sports guy, right there. Check out his YouTube channel. Me, Tantalizing Tony. Subscribers going up, up, up. We need you to help us out. Don't forget this Friday night. right after SmackDown. What's the podcast again, JB? Give it to one more time.
Dudes at Ringside podcast.
Dudes at Ringside Podcast. We gonna be there. We stepping up our game. People asking us to be on their show.
That's right. Yes, please. Subscribe to our YouTube pages, as Tony said. Also, um, I want to give a shout out to MVS. This is broadcasting on their page. Wrestling enthusiasts. This is broadcasting on their page. NAAW. This is broadcasting on their page. They're going to accept it,
Thanks.
and I think Busted Open also is going to accept it and let it go. So that'll be good also. So
Busted
yeah,
open. It's me, Tony the bus driver. Let's go.
yeah. So if you guys accept it and letting this play on y'all pages, we thank y'all so much. Really do thank y'all because you can easily say no and not allow it, but thank y'all so much if you're doing this. We appreciate it. And for my good friend, my brother, go ahead, sir.
Dudes at Ringside Podcast is on Facebook. So look them up, guys.
Cool.
Dudes at Ringside Podcast is on Facebook. Check them out, and support them as well. They're having us on the show, which means we family now. So
That's right.
support these guys. And for all
Yes,
the other pages that are accepting our show here, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Please have all your um followers subscribe to our channels. We try and do something great here. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
definitely. For my brother from another, Tantalizing, Tony, it's your boy, Mr. Steal Your Dibs. Come Friday and Saturday, you'll see us again. But until then, peace.